But I'm never going to be able to get used to the autofocus on the Sirui Sniper lenses. I've just never really been a fan of them. Okay. Hey there. My name is Parker Murphy. I'm an aspiring filmmaker. Yeah. And I set this up in my room. This shoot up in my room with probably $8 worth of equipment, minus the $1,200 camera lens combination. But even that is really cheap when you consider the fact that a Sony G Master 24-70 lens costs like $1,300, $1,400. I don't know. Actually, how much is this camera lens combination? This is Sony ZV-E10 2 and the Sirui Sniper 56mm. So this is a 56mm. And I'm sorry if I keep looking down. I've got my little Creators app. Sony Creators app is my monitor right now because I don't have a monitor, which is something that I'm looking at getting. Honestly, setting this up was pretty fun. I have Boba Fett's Slave One Starfighter right there, and I redecorated like my entire room. I played a little art director to set this up. So we have a whole bunch of stuff on my wall right here. We have a whole bunch of stuff on my wall on this side. And it's really interesting just because I've decorated out like 2 more feet to my left and you can only see the one Lego ship. Anyway, lighting I think looks pretty good. We've got some pretty harsh shadows coming from underneath here. Tried to make use of a bounce. I don't think it's doing very much just because it's so small, which is a bummer. And it's kind of far away from me, and so I don't feel like it's doing very much. Although we're getting some nice fill kind of right here. But I think that's really just because the camera can see that side of my face. So I think where I turn, no, it's pretty nice. Shadows kind of down the middle with our little highlight right here. Kind of, maybe, not so much. Intentional key, intentional shadows, a little bit of fill. We're shooting at, I don't even know what my camera settings are right now. I think we're 1/90 shutter speed, 1.2 on our aperture, so we are wide open because this room is pretty dark. No ND, no anything. Oh, probably at a 400, 500 ISO. The ZV-E10 2 with its APS-C sensor and just kind of jankiness, it doesn't really do a great job of low light. It gets really grainy really quick, and that is my biggest pet peeve, is grainy footage. So I really like keeping that ISO as low as possible. Anyway, lighting, we have an Elgato Key Light Air as my key light, which is like our only nice fixture. We have like a barn lamp, like an aluminum housed light bulb from like Home Depot on a stand that I found in our basement, which is, I mean, it's working pretty nice. That's what's kind of being our space light right now. It's just shooting into the roof, into the ceiling. And it's kind of acting as our space light right now and just kind of hitting this wall behind me. We have my ceiling fan lights, so like my actual room lights are turned on, and those are acting as just another space light. They're also hitting kind of down from the top. So when I look down, you can see we've kind of got some hair lighting going on. That's also coming from my Key Light Air, which is hitting my hand right now, the face of my hand. So you guys can kind of see the angle that that's coming out because my hand is facing it flat. But we also have that ceiling fan coming down, which I think is like also giving me some of my shoulders, or unless there's edge light right here, unless my bounce is doing something, and that's kind of cool. Framing wise, the only thing that might be weird is the fact that the seam in the wall right here, well, first of all, it doesn't look like it's level, unless it is level, and that's just my phone crooked. My phone's just crooked. I don't know where to put that. Do we put that on the third? Because if we do that real quick, we're gonna cut and we're gonna see what that looks like really quick. Does that work? Someone smart tell me, does that work? Kind of looks like it. I just think I'm too like, ugh. Yeah, I think that works great. You can see some more of these Lego ships now. Pain in the butt putting these on the wall, just for the record. And I do like, I know this wasn't even on purpose, the Edgeless Mandalorian poster is on the other third perfectly. So we put the corner of the wall on a third. Obviously my right eye is on a third, but then also the edge of that poster is on the third, which is so sweet. And the bottom of the Winchester munitions side right there is on the bottom third as well. So I feel like there's just some nice, I feel like it's nice. I feel like composition here isn't horrible. This is kind of the setup for the afternoon. It's pretty cool. I like it. I might use it in the future. I don't know what for. My fan is off right now, and my AC, I tried to turn it off. And so it's hot. It's so hot in here right now. Because summers in Texas are probably the most unforgiving things ever. But I thought this was great. I unfortunately, right now, I'm using a Rode mic, like a Rode Go 2, I think is the actual mic that I have. I'll throw a screenshot up of it. But that's the mic that I'm using right now, and it is sitting on top of my camera, plugged into the 3.5 jack, because this camera doesn't have XLR, which makes sense. Oh, I would die for an FX9. But if I'm dead, then I can't use it, which is kind of a bummer. Trying to think. So I think the only improvement to this would be with the stuff that I have, because lighting, like I'm really truly happy with the lighting. Some of the shadows might be weird coming off of these. I don't know. There's a random as heck shadow right here going this way, and I don't know how to fix that. But honestly, for the space like that, hold on, let me unplug it so I can see what it did. Ready? I feel like that didn't do a whole lot, but at the same time, I feel like it did. I love that I can grab focus using the Creators app. This is so nice. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It took way longer than it should have. Just by myself in my room. But that's okay. In a serious way though, I've started taking screen grabs of shows that I really like, movies that I really like, when I think the lighting is cool or the composition is cool or quirky or fun or something that I've never seen before. And the hope is to just, like when I'm building something out like this, to have a reference and just be like, man, I really liked this about this shot. I want to try to replicate it. Or like, hey, I really like the color of the way this show, like the way the show is colored. I want to try to replicate that. Building this out, reviewing the footage on my camera, just like rewatching on my camera display, I have been totally humbled by the actual intensity of the filmmaking on set. Man, everything just looks so good. And I was trying to think about like, wow, you're filming a dynamic conversation. How intense is that? How intense is that lighting setup? I mean, everything right now is so close to me. Big key takeaways from this project is getting creative does not have to be complicated, I think, which is cool to me because I overcomplicate things a lot. And even looking at some of the behind the scenes of some of my favorite TV shows and some of my favorite movies, I'm really, really appreciative of the fact that like, wow, they're using like a source, some diffusion, and a bounce or some negative fill. What? And it looks so good. I also need a haircut. I'm looking shaggy. Yeah, hey, thank you guys so much for watching. Pretty mellow, pretty low-key. Usually not like this. Maybe I am. I have no idea. I don't know. But love y'all. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.